everyone, so just a note, this is a longer video, so I encourage you to take a look at the chapter markers that are along the bottom bar of this YouTube video and scroll through to see specific areas that you may need help with, from accessing a database to using subject tags to filtering your search. Look through all of those different chapter markers and go through it at your own pace. By all means, please use this video in any way that works for you, whether it's just watching one section or two sections or the whole thing from start to finish. Whatever works best for you, that's what we want you to do. And if you ever have any questions, just reach out to me. I say my email address a couple times throughout the following video. So the following video, you're going to see me show you a couple tips and tricks for using our EBSCO database. The reason why I chose EBSCO is because it's our most general database where you can find academic articles. So to access that, on the video I've created for you, you can see I'm working off of a Pearl Trees or a collection of resources I created for a class. But for any other reason, if you're looking to access our databases, you're going to go to the Robbinsville High School website, then go to Services and Media Center, and it's going to take you to this page. Everything that's related to the Media Center, you're going to find here. So you can just go right to Quick Links and select Databases. And then you're going to see the list of databases for you to use. Just make sure that if you're accessing these from home, you're going to have to click here to view our password document, and you have to make sure that you're logged in with your RL Schools email, otherwise you cannot view. That's going to show you how to access our databases remotely. For the instance of this video, we're going to be using EBSCO Host, the EBSCO Host database. So you just click on EBSCO Host, and it will take you directly to the database. So with that, please enjoy the video. Make sure you look up our research guide as well, which is on the Media Center website right here, our JSMC database and research guide. It's going to give you a few other tips and tricks for using databases. If you have any questions, just email me at paulacastro.gina@robbinsville.k12.nj.us.
We are going to click into EBSCO Host, double click. Okay, and then you have a couple options here. We're just going to select this very first one, EBSCO Host Web. You're going to select all. Within the EBSCO Host databases, there's multiple. You can always select specific ones. Each database specializes in a different subject, but I typically just select all. That means that when you input a search, you're actually searching within each of the databases that EBSCO owns. So you get a wider range of resources, and I'm going to show you how to filter all of those resources down to find the perfect article for you. Okay, so we're going to continue. And we are on the main page here. So as you can see from your research guide, if you have that with you or if you just want to take a look at it later, there's specific tips for you to use a database. And the very first tip is to start small and find what works for you. What I mean by that is start with a general term that's going to help kind of steer you in the right direction when it comes to using a database. Databases, frankly, are not very smart. They're not like Google that has a very sophisticated algorithm to kind of assess your needs without you explicitly telling it. When you're using a database, you have to really explicitly tell the database what you're looking for. And to do that, we have to speak its language. You're going to see that as we create a search phrase, which is what you type in the search box. There's some different codes that you're going to have to click into. There's different words that we can use to combine subject terms and whatnot. And that may all sound complicated now, but it's going to make a lot of sense by the end of this video. So we're going to start general, like I said. We're all trying to research information for a JFK assassination, right? So that's what we're going to start with, JFK assassination. And we're just going to select search. There's a lot of articles. As you can see, there's 3,815 articles. There's no way that I'm going to sit here and try to sort through over 3,000 articles. And you're not going to do that either. So notice there's all of these filters on the side. Right now we're shopping, right? We're shopping for the perfect article. So we're going to want to filter these resources down so we find exactly what we are looking for. To do that, we always want to make sure that linked full text is clicked. For your research paper, you will need a full text of an article. Otherwise, what are you going to do with it? Okay, so make sure that's selected. And now we've brought it down to 2,500 articles, still a little bit too much. Now we need to start paying attention to what we have here. So there's a lot of periodicals, there's a lot of reviews here. We definitely don't want reviews. So we're going to have to do something in a bit to take these reviews out of our results, excuse me. What reviews are is exactly what it sounds like. They're book reviews. So they're not really secondary resources because they're not explicitly talking about the subject of the JFK assassination. They're talking about what someone else said about the JFK assassination in a book. So we're not getting any new information there. They're more so talking about how that book was written, which is not useful to us. So you want to stay away from reviews in your search process. So let's just click this first one. And the most important thing to notice in databases is the subject tags. So just like Instagram or Twitter, there's tags to focus on a specific topic. So this article focuses on these topics or these subject terms. This is the language of the database. These are gold when it comes to executing a search in a database, these subject terms, because this is what all the articles that we want are going to be tagged with. This one in particular, Assassination of John F. Kennedy, 1963. So we're just going to click on it. And you're going to see that it has changed our search phrase. This DE means subject term in database language, and this is the actual subject we are searching. So from our original over, just about 4,000 articles, just making that switch has brought us down to about 2,100 articles, which is great. So again, link to full text. And that brought us down to quite a bit, okay? So scrolling down, we could see some of the different types of resources. I'm seeing another review here. I don't like that. Okay, so remember I said before we're going to do something to change that up a bit. If we look at our research guide, tip number 2 says using and, or, and not to refine your search. And, or, and not are magic words in a database. They tell the database whether you want to combine subject terms or keep something away from your search. So we're going to use this. We're all pretty much focusing not just on the JFK assassination, but more specifically, conspiracy theories, right? So I am going to type in and conspiracy. And remember before I said we don't want reviews in our results. So I'm going to type in not reviews. So what we're telling the database now is to find articles with this specific subject. So any article about the assassination of John F. Kennedy in 1963 that are related to conspiracies, but aren't book reviews. So let's see what we get with this. 144 articles. That's pretty good. That's a manageable number. Not that we're going to look through all 144, but this is going to help us, again, steer us in the right direction, right? So I'm going to click into this first article, the second assassin. When you do this, you can view the abstract, which is going to give you a summary of the article. You can select PDF full text. You can save this whole article to your Google Drive, which is great when it comes to annotating, right? And we can cite this article directly. So this is what you're going to do when you find articles in a database. You're going to find the MLA citation and copy and paste this into your works cited or onto your secondary resources document worksheet that you have. Okay. Also keep in mind, we need to be aware of biases with articles, right? So this gives you information on the source that this article comes from. This comes from a periodical called New Criterion. If you don't know who they are or what they do, click on it. And EBSCO will give you information about this publisher. So these are the subjects that this publisher focuses on, and that's going to help you to determine what their innate biases are. You can also go directly to their webpage to learn a little bit more about them. Please keep that in mind when you're doing your research. Going back, I think I can narrow my search down even more. So let's go back to the results list. Not only am I focusing on the assassination of John F. Kennedy, conspiracies about that, but I want to know how the mafia was involved. So I'm going to do another and this is going to narrow this number down even further for me. So this is super specific. And look at that, only 7 articles. That's great. That's super manageable, right? And these are all going to be about the assassination of John F. Kennedy, conspiracies about that assassination as it relates to the mafia, with no book reviews, because I don't want book reviews, right? And just looking through these, they're all periodicals, which is fine. There's one newspaper article. That's pretty interesting to me. So I'm going to click into this one. Notice how we have all of our subject terms linked here. Again, you could view PDF full text. You can add this article to your Google Drive, and you can get the citation directly from here. Okay, so in this video, we've talked about how to create that perfect search phrase by clicking on subject terms that are linked in our articles, using "and" in our search phrase, and what that can do to help us narrow down our search phrase, and also using "not" to avoid specific types of resources. So make sure that you are able to move these articles into your Google Drive to save them for easier reference later. And also make sure you're using the database citation provided to you. Keep in mind, to identify different biases, you will want to always click on the source link. For this, it's New York Amsterdam News. You're going to click that to find out a little bit more information about the source this article comes from. If you have any questions about using our databases, don't hesitate to come up to me and ask. I'm pretty much here every day after school. I'm here most lunches, and I'm here before school too. You can also email me any questions that you may have. Good luck in your research project, and again, I'm always here for help.